Hi everyone, it's the Reverend Jendi Burwell. I'm recording this on Wednesday. So Wednesday is the 18th of August 21. As of midnight last night, New Zealand went into a level 4 lockdown again with Delta variant having found its way in and around. Hopefully we can snuff it out before it gets too embedded. So what I'm doing is I'm recording my thoughts for Sunday the 22nd, and I'm going to send them out early so that you can listen and ponder and wonder whenever is convenient to you over the next few days, few weeks. And I really hope Sunday morning you find a patch of sunshine, perhaps inside a window because the weather might be a bit iffy. It's winter here after all. And as the sun hopefully hits your face, you remember the love of God and the love for your neighbour and your family and your friends and your enemies. And we do this lockdown with grace and caring for people. Now, today is the end of our today, Sunday, is the end of our looking at the letter to Ephesians. So in the description or in the email that'll go out is a really neat little video on YouTube that summarizes the letter to the Ephesians. So I suggest you watch that first before listening to the rest of this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read the part of the letter that we would have heard on Sunday at church, and then I'm going to ponder on it and ponder on the summary, ponder on the whole this letter being written to the church, because this letter could be written to the church, not just then, but also now, and also ours. And, our church is a part of the one church, so it is written to us as well. So anyway, today's reading is from Ephesians, and it is, find where I put it, Ephesians 6, verses 10 to 20, and I'm reading from the CEV version. Finally, let the mighty strength of the Lord make you strong. Put on all the armour that God gives so you can defend yourself against the devil's tricks. We are not fighting against humans. We are fighting against forces and authorities and against rulers of darkness and powers in the spiritual world. So put on all the armour that God gives. Then when that evil day comes, you will be able to defend yourself. And when the battle is over, you will still be standing firm. Be ready. Let the truth be like a belt around your waist, and let God's justice protect you like armour. Your desire to tell the good news about peace should be like shoes on your feet. Let your faith be like a shield, and you will be able to stop all the flaming arrows of the evil one. Let God's saving power be like a helmet, and for a sword, use God's message that comes from the Spirit. Never stop praying, especially for others. Always pray by the power of the Spirit. Stay alert and keep praying for God's people. Pray that I will be given the message to speak and that I may fearlessly explain the mystery about the good news. I was sent to do this work, and that's the reason I am in jail. So pray that I will be brave and will speak as I should. So hear what the Spirit is saying to the church. Thanks be to God. Let's hear what the Spirit might be saying to us, the church. If you haven't watched the little video summarizing Ephesians, then please do. It's a really neat little summary. It takes 8 minutes, but I think it's a neat, good summary of the whole letter. Over the last few weeks, we've been looking at Ephesians, and it's a letter, and it's like, hey guys, please do this, and you need to do that, and here's some rules for moral living, and there's lots of really great stuff in it. So I commend that you read the whole letter to the Ephesians and think, crikey, Paul was in jail, and he so cared about these people that he wrote this letter to them. I don't want to draw too many parallels, but here we are in lockdown, and I so care about you guys, all of you who may or may not be watching this, but who are in my thoughts and prayers, that I want to discuss this letter with you. However, the letter to the Ephesians is not the final statement about the church in Ephesus. If we flick right to the end of the Bible, we find the book of Revelation, written by John, and there are letters to the churches in there. So, Ephesus is one of the churches that has this special letter by John as he perceived Jesus, made it come alive to him, and then he recorded it. So I think it's worth having a look at perhaps what Jesus was saying to the church in Ephesus. Maybe the Ephesians church is a prime example of a Christian community that ended up functioning like an institution rather than a family that genuinely loved one another. So let's hear, and again, I'm going to read it in the CEV so that we have the same translation. So it's Revelation 2, if you want to look it up. This is what you must write to the angel of the church in Ephesus. I am the one who holds the 7 stars in my right hand, and I walk among the 7 gold lampstands. Listen to what I have to say. I know everything you have done, including your hard work and how you have endured. I know you won't put up with anyone who is evil. When some people pretended to be apostles, you tested them and found out they were liars. You have endured and gone through hard times because of me, yet you have not given up. Let's pause there and think, yay, you, the church in Ephesus. What lovely, lovely things Jesus has to say about you. And let's do some imagination work and think, wow, imagine Jesus saying to us in Albany and Greenhithe or wherever you are, you have endured and you have gone through some hard times because of me, and yet you have not given up. Beautiful, lovely. let's hear the second part. But I have something against you, and it is this: you don't have as much love as you used to. Think about where you have fallen from, and then turn back and do as you did at first. If you don't turn back, I will come and take away your lampstand. But there is one thing you are doing right. You hate what the Nicolaitans are doing, and so do I. If you have ears, listen to what the Spirit says to the churches. I will let everyone who wins the victory eat from the life-giving tree in God's wonderful garden. Okay, so we're not going to dwell massively on the detail, but Jesus is praising this church and then saying, but hang on, you don't love like you used to. You don't love as much as you did. And if that continues, I will come and take away your lampstand. Now, you may recall the story about God's good news and stuff is to shine like a light on a lampstand, out there so people can see it. And Jesus is saying, but if you don't love, even if you're doing lots of the good, busy stuff of God and you're busy and you're doing all this ministry and I don't know, it's all good. But if there's not enough love in that, then I would rather come and take away your lampstand so that you don't shine that kind of light. That may be successful light, but it has no love in it kind of light. Jesus is saying, I'd rather snuff that out and have people not see that kind of work, that kind of news and example and witness. And I think, cool, crikey, that's a lot to ponder and a lot to really think about as we wrestle with ministry and witness and life and church stats and things. What if we can do all the right things, but if it's not done in love, if it's not absolutely steeped in love, then it's not okay. And so I think as we head into the season of creation, which will be early September through to early October, let's really, really press into that idea of love. Love for ourselves, love for others, love for creation. What would it look like for everything we do, individually and together, to be really steeped in love so that it is the good news of Jesus Christ? So that our light on the lampshade can shine brightly, so that Jesus isn't looking at it going, crikey, I think I'd rather that light wasn't shining. That's not what we want. So as we wrap up the letter to Ephesians, let's pause and ponder about the bit in the book of Revelation as well. And as we go into this week of lockdown, and maybe longer, and each and every day, let's pause and think, love. Is this loving? How can I love? What is love? What is the most loving thing I can do right now for me and for others? And a special shout out to some people in my community who I love and adore, who are going through some particularly difficult times right now. And they're made particularly more difficult in level 4 lockdown. And they currently find themselves probably within 1.5 kilometres of where I live. But I can't go and see them. But I send them my love. God bless you all. Please be kind, take care of each other. And I hope on Sunday you especially feel the love of God, and remember in your prayers our community that won't be gathering in person just yet. Love you. Miss you already, but see you soon.